Hello. In this video, I'll be showing you how to solve number 6 on the quadratic conundrum problem. First, let's read the problem. A student was asked to solve the equation x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. But by mistake, she solved instead x squared plus cx plus b equals 0. Surprisingly, one of the roots she found was still correct, and the other one was 2 less than the other correct root. What was the equation she was asked to solve? First, let's let r1 and r2 be the roots of x squared plus bx plus c. Then we can write this using the zero product property as x squared plus bx plus c equals x minus r1 times x minus r2. Now let's write the equation for the equation with the root 2 less than the correct root. X squared plus cx plus b equals x minus r1 times x minus the quantity r2 minus r2, because we want the second root to be 2 less than the second root in the first equation. Now let's factor them. For x squared plus bx plus c, we get x squared plus the quantity negative r1 minus r2, x plus r1 times r2. For x squared plus cx plus b, we get x squared plus the quantity negative r1 minus r2 plus 2x plus r1 r2 minus 2r1. Now we can match the b's and the c's, which will yield us negative r1 minus r2 is equal to r1 times r2 minus 2r1. And for the c's, we get r1 times r2 equals negative r1 minus r2 plus 2. Now we can rework the system of equations and solve it. First, we want to rework the first equation to yield r1 times r2 equals r1 minus r2. Then, because they're both equal to the same thing, we can substitute them in for each other. We get r1 minus r2 equals negative r1 minus r2 plus 2. We can simplify this to get r1 equals negative r1 plus 2. Then we get 2r1 equals 2. And then we get r1 is equal to 1. We can then substitute this into the first equation and get r2 equals 1 minus r2. Where we can then get 2r2 equals 1. So r2 equals 0.5. We can then substitute our values into our original equation, which was x minus r1 times x minus r2, to yield the equation the student was trying to solve. So we write x minus 1 times x minus 0.5 equals 0. Then if we FOIL this, we get x squared minus 1.5x plus 0.5 equals 0. This is also our answer.